What's up everyone, and welcome to another Pop Culture Gamers video, and today we have an unboxing. We've got a few of these planned for the near future, so stay tuned for those. But you may have remembered a little while ago I had showed you this. This is a Surfans F20. It is an MP3 player, a dedicated MP3 player, which is possibly an unusual thing that people would be using in this day and age, with us all having access to Spotify and various different other services. And I've been really happy with this, but this for me has just been lacking. Why has it been lacking? Because I used to have the best MP3 player and I've missed it. And while this has a nice wheel on it for selecting or whatever, the interface is really slow, shall we say. It's a bit cumbersome, and I love the player, I love the make. It is absolutely fantastic, but it's just not scratched that itch that I really wanted it to scratch, as far as I'm concerned. So I've been looking at how I can get something that would more be equal to the needs that I have, or the wants that I have, and of course there is an option. Now, in terms of this isn't going to be something that's going to be for everybody. If you're one of those people who makes a lot of use of Spotify or iTunes or anything like that, then you're not going to really get the full benefit out of it if you're subscribing to Apple Music, or if you're subscribing to another service like Amazon Music or any one of those. However, there is a really big revival market on a very certain MP3 player, and I've got one, and here it is. Any guesses from the side view? Let's have a look. This is supposedly, or reportedly, a brand new player. And yes, it is an iPod. It's an iPod 7th gen actually, but it has 512 gigabytes of storage on this, and it is customized as well. It's come quite nicely with a screen protector and a wheel protector. Never seen one of those before. But also this nice clear case, and the reason being for that is because of the colouring of this. And let's have a look. We will open up the boxing experience. It's all pretty much genuine by the feel of it. iPodClassic box, and there is the iPod. Now that is gorgeous. I absolutely love this colour. As you can see, it's still got the wrapping on. You know, this looks very sort of genuine in terms of looks. The boxing, iPodClassic quick start guide on in here as well, all of the proper instructions. There is, do you remember these leads? Because yes, it's one of those ones. There is a set of headphones as well, although I will be using these ones for what I want, and a power brick, which doesn't comply with UK standard, but hey ho. So this was £175. It was from a dealer in China. It is sold as new, and basically what this is there is a big market now in reconditioning, people upgrading their old iPods, because they've realized, you know, how good a machine it is, and let's face it, if you're out in a run in the middle of nowhere where there's no self coverage or anything, and you want to play music, well, you're not going to be able to necessarily on your phone, because if you're just streaming the music, it's not going to come along. And obviously that's one of the things with iTunes, is that on the iPhone, is that it does stream the music rather than download it to your phone. So there are times when I've been driving around and music's just cut out. This is a 7th gen, by the way, just so that you're aware of that. And yeah, so let's get this open. Can't even remember how you get into these. That's it. And look at that, that is absolutely gorgeous, and it even has 512 megabytes on the back. That back is in pristine condition. I'm going to put it straight in this case, quite simply because I want it to be kept in absolutely pristine condition. This is really nice. So let's just pop that on. Quite glad actually I didn't order one of these cases, because I was thinking of doing that. So that just pops in there like so. And I have no doubt that the battery will be dead on this, so let's have a look. Oh no, it's not. So fully charged as well. Click wheel is working. So music, no music on here at the moment. I say at the moment because obviously we're going to use this how it should be, which is to add it all using iTunes. So we've got the extras, the calendars, the contacts, all of that sort of stuff. But this just feels like my old iPod. I think it was the 6th gen version of the iPod that I had, which had 80 gigs of storage, which was more than enough. Obviously this is so much more. So let's have a look in settings, and let's do about. So as we can see, 415 megabytes used, with 476 gigabytes of storage left, which is phenomenal. Backlight, the backlight seems to be going off really quick. Let's just knock that up to 20 seconds. Brightness, EQ, we can do as well, so we can change it how we want. Sound, everything really. So this is pretty much how I remember the iPod being. So here we have the lead for the iPod, which just goes in. Remember to get it the right way around. My old iPod actually ended up with a blob mark somewhere on here. I think it was because the battery was starting to swell in it. But what I am considering doing, if I can find my old iPod, because I've been looking for it, is you can actually get aftermarket upgrades for them. So I was looking at maybe doing something like that in the near future, taking my old iPod to bits and then putting it back together, just to show you guys how incredibly easy it is. You can get different coloured fronts if you want to replace that. If your back's really scratched, you can get new backs for these as well, deeper backs also, and everything. Basically you can even get an upgrade. It is quite expensive at a couple of £100, but it will give you USB-C connectivity, and also it will give you Bluetooth as well. Now, I don't need the Bluetooth because I've got a Bluetooth adapter that I can just plug into here, which is fine, but it is nice to have that sort of option on one of these devices as well. But my God, have I missed this sort of device. I used to love my old iPod, and I was gutted when I moved on from it, because even the app that's within the iPhone, it's not the same. There was something special about this. This was the first time you could really carry your whole music collection with you wherever you went, and that made this device very, very special. So yeah, let's get this hooked up, and then we'll see how things go on iTunes. Okay, so let's get this plugged in. So the first thing that we've got is this thing coming up on iTunes that is saying that the software required for communicating with the iPod is not installed. Would you like to download and install it? So let's do download and install. So this is the iPod support. So iTunes has detected a Macintosh formatted iPod. You must restore this before you can use it on Windows. So let's restore the iPod. So it's now restoring this back to factory settings. And now it's synchronizing. Welcome to your new iPod. Let's get started. So let's check for an updated version of the software. So this is a current version, and manually managing music and videos. Okay, so let's have a look. Sync, nope, doesn't do anything. But if we, let's do done. So if we go into my iPod, I will tell it to sync the entire music library, including videos, because obviously this is a video one. Let's do apply and done. And now iTunes is syncing, step 101. and now it's copying 9,329 different tracks to iTunes, or from iTunes to my iPod. So we'll come back when that's over. Okay, so it's been running now for around about an hour or so, just updating all of these. We're in the last couple of hundred, and it's a relatively quick process. Obviously I am doing thousands of different music uploaded onto this because I have the storage on the device. You know, I have 512 gigabytes, which is quite massive. It's actually a little bit warm, not much, but it is in this rubber thing as well. Yeah, I would say it's just slightly around about body temperature sort of amount, not too hot, but we're just coming up to the last ones. I think that that's it. It appears to be done. So we've got to eject before anything else, so let's eject our iPod. And that can now be safely removed. We'll plug this in as well. Oh, the old cover floor. I'd forgotten all about this. Obviously with so many, it's taking some time, and I do have some cover art that is missing, which I will sort out. And it's playing. So for all intents and purposes, this is working. Genius mixes now, I remember these. Then we've got playlists. Look at things by artist. And this is just so much quicker than this device. If I give an example, these two are very different in terms of the way that everything is controlled. So let's find songs by Queen. Okay, on here I'm going to go into category music, artist, and now I'm going to go as fast as I can. Just got to the B's. C's, D's. Even if I, do this, it's still going. I'm in the C's now. D's. N, O, P, and finally we'll get into Queen. Oh, I thought we were. There we go, Queen. And let's play Greatest Hits and Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh no, we can't because it only sorts it out by the track. So let's get to Bohemian Rhapsody, and that's playing it from that album instead. Okay, so that took me quite some time on this. Like I said, don't get me wrong, this is a brilliant device, but the difference is on here we go to Artist, we start going around as fast as we can, and we can very quickly sort of I've even zoomed past, go down to Queen, Greatest Hits, Bohemian Rhapsody. Miles quicker than this one. Don't get me wrong, this is a great device, absolutely great, but what it does is it leaves a lot to be desired in terms of the use of an iPod. The iPod is by far the superior device for somebody who is using this on a regular basis. There is to be fair, I did cheat a little bit on here. If I go back into the menu and go back, there is a quicker way of getting to that, and that is by going to Explorer, going to the TF card, and then going down, because for some reason the list is a lot shorter, but there is no skipping the way that there is on the Apple. But like I said, this is probably the quickest way to get there. And then we're going down, we're on NOP and Queen. And then it's sorted by album as well. And we can get to Greatest Hits and play it. So there is a quicker way of doing it on here, but it's still slower than this device. This device, which is 20 years old. So, because other earlier versions of the iPod were exactly the same. So, it's entirely up to you what you actually think, but there are lots and lots of options for you to be able to upgrade your iPod. Even if we just had a look on eBay. So as we can see here, 2 terabyte SSD and a battery for iPodClassic 6th, 7th gen and video 5.5 from £66 to £200. Here are some of the different colours. Depends upon whether or not the 160 gig is 139, by the way, but I didn't pay anywhere near that for mine. You can get different coloured backs if you want to. Upgrade the battery, especially if you've got an old one that is now worn out. As I said before, there is the U2 sign off back as well. Some of them come in slightly different boxes, like this one. But there are lots of other sites. You can even get this interesting looking transparent one. You know, you can mod these as well on your own if you've already got an iPodClassic, particularly 5th, 6th or 7th gen. Then you can buy these upgrade parts. These seem to be selling all of these at the moment are fully done kits. Let's just If we do a search for iPod parts, here we go, Apple iPod Classic, 256 gigabyte. Oh, that's so. Here we have, for example, you can add in an extended battery. Here is a compact flash, card reader, kit for your iPod Classic, custom thin background, or back bit, especially if your iPod's got really scratched or whatever, new batteries. You can even do an SSD upgrade on this. These are the sort of tools that you're going to need. It's quite complicated to do. You can update the wheel to a different colour, upgrade the faceplate to various different colours as well. The sky's the limit, really. So there's lots of options for you to be able to do this. I just highly recommend, if you have got one and you're quite competent in terms of taking things apart, then have a go. The only reason why I didn't is because I can't find my iPod Classic anywhere, but I will be upgrading it and I will be showing videos of it in the future. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. A little bit different video, but nevertheless so good to have a new iPod Classic. And obviously the other thing as well about this one is it does video. So it didn't sync the movies or TV shows, but it did sync music videos. So let's have a look at Pet Shop Boys. And there we go, it's playing the video on there. Brilliant. What can you say? Okay, hope you've enjoyed that. Bit of a different one, but I just thought I'd wade in on this whole people moving back to this device particularly, or this make of device, the iPod Classic, because it is a classic for a reason. It's, I think, the best interface to actually be able to get access to your music, and this wheel, ever since the first iPod, it's been absolutely brilliant. Okay, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.